Hi guys, it's Addicted to Beauty here, and today I kind of have more of a different video than I usually do on my channel with makeup and doing piercing changing and all of that. This is going to be kind of like a 10 things you wish you would know that I've came up with personally, and it's 10 things you wish you had known before becoming a CNA. And for you guys who don't know what a CNA is, a CNA is a certified nursing assistant. We are like the backbone to nursing. We're the backbones to the RN, the LPNs, the doctors, the physicians. We get it all. We get it from the management, we get it from the nurses, we get it from the patients. We just take the shit end of the stick, no matter where it comes from, good or bad. We're the backbone. We keep any kind of long-term, short-term rehab, hospitals, we keep it all intact. So that's kind of a rundown of a CNA. What a CNA does, I have been a CNA for going on 3 years now, and I've only worked at one job being a CNA, and I work at a nursing home. I'm not going to say the nursing home because I don't want to have any backlash or anything or have anything bad happen. So I work at a nursing home. My nursing home I work at is long-term, and it also houses short-term and rehab. The unit I work on is our rehab unit, so people who come from the hospitals that had surgery or just need to work on getting strength to go back home and all that, that's the unit I work on. And what CNAs do is, I can't speak for a CNA in a hospital or anywhere else, home health, whatever. I will speak for the CNAs who work in long-term and rehab. What we do as CNAs in long-term care facilities, we pretty much take care of the patients. We give them breakfast, lunch, dinner, give them showers, get them out of bed, get them into bed, reposition them every 2 hours. And for our patients who are incontinent, and for people who don't know what incontinence is, it's where you don't have control over your bowels and bladder, so you don't know when you use the restroom. So for our incontinent people, we go through and change them and put clean and dry underpants on them when they have episodes. So that's what a CNA does. And now that I've given you guys a rundown of what a CNA is, I am going to give you guys the 10 things you wish you would have known before becoming a CNA. Let me tell you, you have, for one, number one, you have your days where you absolutely love your job, you love going into work, you love your coworkers, you love your patients, and then, honey, that can change in an instant. You walk in that door and you have 20 call lights on, you have 5 patients coming through the doors, you have nurses screaming at you, you have your management screaming at you, and then you're like, oh shit, my whole day's ruined. The medical field always changes. You can never walk in and expect it to be one thing, because if you expect it to be one thing, it can switch up and change to another. Just know that for a fact. The medical field never stays the same. It is always going, it's always moving, and it's a super fast-paced environment. If you cannot keep up, if you do not like working in a job where it's fast-paced, super overwhelming, and you need a lot of patience, being a CNA, I do not recommend doing. I kind of like went off topic of number one. Sorry. We'll move on to number two. I will stay on topic with number two. Number two, I think personally, in the medical field, working as a CNA, management truly sucks. They will never have your back. it's hard no matter where you go, and especially with the pandemic and everything, and COVID, and the vaccine mandate and everything. A lot of like nurses, CNAs, doctors, all of them quit because they didn't want to get the vaccine. So anywhere you go, especially right now during the pandemic, anywhere you go to work in the medical field, it is going to be short staffed, and it's going to be shitty, and it's going to be overwhelming because management doesn't help. Management sucks ass. They don't care, and they expect you to do everything and anything, and if you do it and you do everything they want you to do, they want you to do 10 more things. If you do one thing, it's not good enough. You should have done 10 more. For an example, I was given in the past, I will just go with the past, not anytime recently. In the past, I was given 3 showers to do. I did 3. And then management wants to tell me, oh, you did 3 showers? Why didn't you do these 2? If you don't do 3, they want you to do 5. If you do 5, they want you to do 7. It's always high expectations working in the medical field. And no matter what, you are always going to get hated on. If it ain't by management, it's by your coworkers. If it ain't by your coworkers, it's going to be by your patients. No matter who it is, you are going to at least have somebody cuss you out, yell at you, or talk shit to you in your shift. And if you find somewhere where you don't get yelled at, cussed at, or anything, please let me know, because every day for the past 3 years, I have gone into my job, I have gotten yelled at, cussed at, hit, and it's been by one of the 3. And if ain't one of the 3, I don't know. It's a family member, let me tell you. Let's see. Being in the medical field, gosh, my face looks like a light bulb now. We are moving on to number 3. The third thing is you need a lot of patience when it comes to working in the medical field, especially if I am only speaking for long-term facilities, nursing homes. I'm speaking for this group of people, not no hospitals. I haven't worked in a hospital or home health, so I can't really speak for them at all. But when you work in my facility personally, but I know there's other facilities like this. In my facility, there's 2 units of long-term people, and then there's a unit for dementia and Alzheimer's, and then there's our rehab units. We have 4 units in our building. We are like one of the biggest buildings in the state. When it comes to working with Alzheimer's and dementia, especially them, you have to have a lot of patience with them, because Alzheimer's and dementia really affects the elderly people, and it causes them to lose their memory. It causes them to lose who they are really, and they just don't know their surroundings. They don't know who they are. They don't know where they are. And especially when it comes to sundowning. Sundowning is where you have your Alzheimer and dementia people, and usually between 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock in the evening, you have your Alzheimer people who sundown in that time span. And when they sundown, they can be extremely aggravated, upset, anxious, and they can hit you, they can spit at you, they can throw their feces, their urine. They will do anything and everything to get out and to get out of the situation they're in. They do not want to be bothered during that time. And if they are, Lord Jesus be with you. You have to have a lot of patience when it comes to them, because they will ask you the same question 50 freaking times in a row. They will ask you, who are you? Who are you? And then you'll tell them, and then 5 minutes later, who are you? 5 minutes later, who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? I don't know who you are. What's your name? Where am I? That's how they will be. And if you don't have a lot of patience, and if you're like one of those type of people who hate getting asked the same question 50 freaking times in a row, do not work and Alzheimer's and dementia. Do not work with them, because if it isn't them asking you 50 billion questions when you go to change them, get them ready for bed, bring them to dinner, if they are overwhelmed and if they are confused, and especially if they're sundowning, they will hit you. They will spit at you. They will throw stuff at you just to get you away from them, and they won't want nothing to do with you. And if you are the type of person who doesn't want to get hit, if you're afraid of getting hit, if you think when you get hit you have to hit somebody back, if you just don't like getting hit overall, whatever reason it is, please do not work with these people. It takes a lot of patience, and you have to be in the right mindset to be stable enough to know how to work with them and know what's right and what's wrong. Now, when I went to my CNA school, we kind of like had like a week training on dementia and everything, and they kind of like went over like a brief detail of like how dementia people are, kind of like I just did with you guys. And my job I work at, they didn't really give us any training, so I just kind of learned as I grew as a CNA. When I first started as a CNA, I worked in the Alzheimer and dementia unit for about a year and a half, and then I left that unit, and I have worked on the rehab unit ever since then, and I have been in love with that unit. That is my favorite unit. That is my home. Lord Jesus, I love them. They are the best unit. Let's see. I kind of have like a list of stuff, so that's why I'm like looking down. I have a list of stuff I made the other day on the 10 things, so I'm just kind of referring to my list so I don't go off a topic and I stay on topic with everything I have. So let's see. No one will have your back. Well, we're on number 4. No one will have your back as a CNA. You will have a lot of coworkers. You will meet a lot of people. You will meet a lot of patients, a lot of nurses, CNAs. You will get trained, but nobody will have your back. There will be CNAs. I've came across CNAs who act friendly to you and act like, oh, if you need anything, I'm here for you. If you want help, let me know, and all that. And when it comes down to it, like, they aren't there. Say, let's see, a couple months ago, I had this patient who I needed to put in bed, and it took 2 people, and the CNA, I'm not going to mention any names, told me, oh, well, I'll help you put him in bed. Just let me know when you're ready, and we'll put him in bed together. When I went to go grab her, because I needed to put this patient in bed so the doctor could check him out and look at his skin and everything, when I went to go get the CNA so I could put him in bed, she went on her break. She went on her lunch, didn't tell me, didn't tell the nurse. She just walked off the unit. So I was like, that's kind of fucked up. You'll just meet a lot of people who will make you promises and tell you one thing, and then they will just go and do another. Nobody will have your back in the medical field like you have your own. You will have your own back, and don't rely on anybody else. Don't rely on anybody to help you, and do not trust nobody in the medical field. I'm speaking personally on my facility, and my facility only. I'm sure in other facilities that are kind of shitty, they kind of do the same thing, but do not trust nobody, because when you go in, and at the start of every shift, you'll go in and get a report. So you'll get like a brief like summary of how the patients were for the day, and you will hear like how they were, who got changed, who got a shower, and all that. And I've just kind of came to conclusion with my job. I work the evening shift, so I get report from day shift, and then I work evening shift, so I work 2 to 10, and then the night shift, I give them a report when they come in at 10, and then they work 10 to 6. So when I come in, depending on who's working in the day, they will tell me, oh, I changed this person, I changed that person, and then when I go in to check on them, like when I go to do my vitals and everything, they'll be soaking wet. They'll look like they never got changed. They'll be way down in the bed. They just won't be perfect. And when it comes to my job, me personally, I like to be a perfectionist when it comes to my job. So I like to make sure they're changed the right way. They're pulled up in the bed, they are covered, they're all good to go. I like to make sure everything is done when I go in there at once, so I don't have to go back in there again and repeat the same thing. I like to just do it once, get it over with, and be done and move on to my next patient. So just know nobody will have your back like your own, if that made any sense. I went over being short staffed, went over being the backbone. I'm kind of just like ranting on my list of stuff, so I don't know if I'll make it to 10. I'm just going off of my list and kind of like jumbling everything together. I feel like I'm sitting really short. I feel like I'm sitting like a little kid, like, hey guys. I need to like sit up tall, like, what's up? Just kidding. This is a tough one. This one is number 5, kind of just blending everything in together. Some patients will treat you like shit. Some patients will kind of try to slave you, and they won't give 2 fucks about you, and they won't want to deal with you. They'll want the nurse. So I'm gonna give you guys an example. 2 weeks ago, me and my coworker went in to go change this lady, and working as a CNA, by law, you are supposed to change a patient every 2 hours and reposition them every 2 hours. So for the incontinent patients, you're supposed to go in every 2 hours and change them. So my 2-hour duration is at 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 8 o'clock. But I do my rounds between my final rounds, like changing people, I do them between 8 and 9 o'clock, just depending on how busy it is, because not all the time you can hit it right on the dot and be like, all right, it's 4 o'clock, let's go change these people. 6 o'clock, let's go change these people. Like, it don't work like that. You don't get the chance to stop whatever you're doing just to go change them. You kind of get to change them when you get to it, but you kind of have to try to stay in that 2-hour range for people who want to know. So some people will treat you like shit, whether it be the patients, the nurses, family members, whoever. You just gotta take it with ease and move on with your day and try not to let it affect you. So back to my story. Me and my coworker went in to go change this patient on my final rounds. She was a 2-person to change because she's kind of heavier set and just really hard to roll over. So we went in there and asked her, can we change you? Can we check your underwear to see if you need to be changed? And if you need to be changed, we're just going to change you real quick. And she full blown yelled at us. She yelled at us. I'm not going to yell like her because I'm at home and my mom's at work. I'm not going to yell like her, but she was on a scale all the way up here, and we're talking to her down here, and she's all the way up here. She full blown yells at us, no, you're not gonna change me. I don't need to be changed. Don't fucking check me. Get the fuck out of my room. And then we're like, what's the problem? Like, we were trying to like figure out what the problem was and why she was tripping and why she was so mad. And she said that she was in pain and she needed some medicine from the nurse and she was feeling gassy and didn't want to be changed. So we were like, okay, we'll go get the nurse and we'll have her talk to you and see if she can get you anything. She was like, okay, well, you need to get the fuck out of my room and don't fucking come back because I don't want you guys to fucking change me. Literally, this isn't the first time I've been cussed out by a patient. This isn't the first time I've been kicked out of a room. I have came across a lot of patients who yell at me, tell me to get the F out of the room and to not deal with them, and they don't want to deal with me, and it just happens. So we went, got the nurse, and when the nurse came, we went with her to the room so the nurse could talk to her about getting her something for her pain. And went in, and she was completely nice to the nurse. She didn't yell at her. Completely nice. And as soon as the nurse walked out, she went right back. You just have to take it with ease, take it with ice, and just move on. All right. Let's see. Not everybody will be grateful for you. I'm just going to kind of go over this really quick. Not everybody will be grateful for you. Not everybody will thank you for changing them, thank you for getting them in bed. It kind of plays along with the patients treating like shit. So just know that no matter what, you are a great CNA, and as long as if you do your job right, that's all you can do. You can't beg these people for attention. You can't beg them to be nice to you. Some people are just pains in the butts, and you just have to move on. You will come across patients who will love you and thank you so much for everything you do. Let's see. And to finish this video up, no matter what, no matter how hard the shift will be, no matter how hard the job will be, you will feel super rewarding at the end of the shift. No matter if you changed a person by yourself, if you got this person up and nobody else could get the person up, if you gave a person a shower that nobody else was able to, you will feel super rewarded that you've done this and you've taken care of other people's grandmas and grandpas, cousins, uncles, brothers, sisters. You will feel highly rewarded for no matter what it is and what you've done. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Go ahead and leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and turn your post notifications on for the next time I go live and post. And I hope you guys have a